I don't know, I kind of put him into words.
Over 10-year veteran on the Hawaii pro wrestling scene, he is Ahuna. Ahuna, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me.
To my left, the current AZW heavyweight champion, defending his title against Sabaki in a 2 out of 3 falls match at New Year's Bash, January 29th. He is Mr. Athletic, Jeff Cobb.
Thank you.
And, you know, it's a little bit of a cliche that this man needs no introduction, but he literally needs no introduction. The founder, the owner, the operator, and a 2-time AZW Tag Team Champion, Dangerous Daryl Bonilla, DDB.
Wow, what an introduction. Thanks, Felipe.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Thank you, man.
Well, you signed the check, so I guess I gotta say whatever. All right, so here we go. So, and if no one's familiar with the brand Action Zone Wrestling, you can catch us every Tuesday at 9 o'clock. And we'll start off with DDB. DDB, you have been with the organization throughout its entire course. How did AZW come to be?
AZW has kind of always been something that's always been in the back of my mind ever since I kind of got into the wrestling business here in Hawaii. I know a lot of the wrestlers used to always ask me, like, when are you going to start your own promotion? When are you going to do this? And it was never the right time. And then finally, I think I was out of the loop for a while. I was doing my acting and everything like that. I was on tour. And it just kind of everything fall into place. You know, I had the resources. I did the research. I didn't want to just jump into this code and just start a promotion, put a name on it, and present it out there. You know, I wanted to really make sure it was ready. So literally, it was about a year prep time where I talked to some guys, let them know that I was thinking about doing this. I made sure I did all the research as far as, you know, rings, belts, venues. You know, getting a show here in Olelo, and yeah, then one thing led to another, and then in 2005 we made it official in June 25th, 2005. We made it happen at Ahuna High School in front of a raucous crowd of 28.
How was that first show for you? Were there little butterflies in your stomach there?
A little bit butterflies, but like honestly, coming into it, I remember I was driving in with AJ Styles, plug, and you know, like name drop, you know, let's do that, and then yeah, so we were driving into the show, and I was like, I kind of expected a big crowd, you know, something huge, you know. I thought all my friends in the acting community, everybody was going to come out. Hey, this is Daryl's promotion, you know. He put a lot of money, put a lot of effort into this, you know. And then everybody, and then we got there, and it was a smaller crowd than I had anticipated, you know. And so I was a little bit disappointed. But as soon as the bell rang and we started that first match, and that 28 sounded like it was 100, and from that point on, you know, I was very proud. And I think the moment when we had the battle royal to crown the first AZW heavyweight champion, that's when it was like, okay, we're here, let's do this. 28 or not, we're gonna make something happen out of this.
And another guy who's been very familiar with the Hawaii pro wrestling scene, as I mentioned before, an over 10-year veteran, is Ahuna. Ahuna, how did you make your way into just the Hawaii pro wrestling scene in general?
I used to watch TV all the time. I used to see wrestling on TV all the time. I used to wrestle in high school, so I figured, hey, if I'm not doing nothing now, why not try to see if I can get into it? So I went down to the old, I thought they called it the E Club, over at the Marine Base, Hawaii. They had this promotion called WLW, World League Wrestling. I talked to the promoter, Lars Anderson, asked him, hey, what can I do to get in? So he told me what I had to do, and you know, pretty much it just went right from there. I went to training, got trained by a guy named the Bone Crusher. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty rough. No, I thought it was going to be easy when I first trained. I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I'm like, shit, you guys can do them on TV. I can do them too. One thing that I never realized, that all the pain and suffering you go through. And being trained by the Bone Crusher alone is pain and suffering.
Right.
Because he's one untrained wrestler in my mind.
Okay.
And to have him training everybody else, I mean, pretty much it was, you know, I don't know, I kind of put him into words what going through training with him is like. All I know is,
was it a difficult process, or because maybe it wasn't qualified to train you, or?
Well, then again, I don't know who was qualified to train me or not. Okay. I figured the trainer was going to be Lars Anderson because this is one guy I used to see on TV. So like, yeah, he knew what he's talking about. He knew what to do. But he used to pass on everything to the Bone Crusher, and the Bone Crusher would, you know, pass it along to us. And until this day, I can't even think of one thing useful that he would teach me. I learned it along the way from guys like Black Rain, believe it or not, Warrior Rick, Yukon Mac Russell. You know, all those other guys that used to think that they was the best of the best of the best. Even the guy who thought he was the best of the best of the best. I mean, being here now and comparing me now to then, I would still say that I still get plenty more to learn because of where I came from. But then with this promotion that DDB brought up, it's the best place to be right now.
And certainly one of the AZW veterans is Ahuna, and one of the leaders backstage. When we go to these live events, everyone asking him for tips and advice and all that stuff. But a newcomer to the pro wrestling scene here in Hawaii is this man right here, Olympian himself, Mr. Athletic Jeff Cobb. Jeff, how did you get and make your way from where you were over in Guam to pro wrestling in Hawaii?
I was born and raised here. I moved to Guam, middle school, high school. After high school, I moved back here. And I looked on the TV and I actually found a program, I believe at the time it was WLW, Bone Crusher, and there was a number at the bottom that said, call Lars Anderson. So I called him, gave him a call, and I was like, all right, I wanted to do this ever since I was a kid, so called Lars Anderson. He said, all right, you need to come down to Kaneohe and bring $3,000. I was like,
what?
Wow. I was like, I'm counting my money. I was like, wait, I just graduated high school. I don't get no $3,000. And so I never called him back. And then I ended up moving back to Guam. And then I went off to college and finished college. There was actually another WLW out in Missouri. I thought it was like the same sister promotion, but it was a Harley race promotion. And they came up and they did a show at our college, and I just wanted to do it even more after that. And after I graduated, I ended up moving back here and turned the TV on. I saw AZW, and then I got my first job. Can we plug that gym or? Okay, I got a gym job.
Yeah.
And it was
24-hour fitness.
24-hour fitness. There you go.
A fine club, by the way.
I need a raise, but it just so happened that there was a couple of the guys I saw on TV who ended up coming into the gym working out. I was like, hey, I've seen that guy on TV, and then started chit-chatting with them and gave me DDB's number, and one thing led to another, and here I am.
Did Lars ever mention or describe to you what the $3,000 was for?
Training and fees.
Training and fees. Okay.
That was for like the down payment on the cars you can buy at Windward.
Actually, I think the $3,000 is for the lube that he needs for his knee.
All right. That's like a drinking game. Every Lars Anderson reference. Just take a shot at home.
See, this is like now when you hear about wrestling nowadays, where you hear about wrestlers meeting other, like people that wanted to train, and they meet active wrestlers. Before you saw here, I ran into a bar and I ran into this wrestler, and I told, hey, how can I wrestle? Hey, just come on down. At least now you're hearing about it. They're in the gym. At least now they're working out. They're they're getting in shape. So it's good. That's good to see. You never know where you're gonna meet the next Mr. Athletic, the next Ahuna.
Let's talk about them real quick, DDB. I mean, you know them better than me. I've been only in the company for about a few months now. What are these two guys like as wrestlers, and what are they like as people?
As wrestlers, I mean, Mr. Athletic, it speaks for himself. It's when you look at the name, you can kind of look at it two ways. You can kind of look, oh my God, that's a really corny name. But then when you apply it to somebody like Jeff, not so corny anymore, right? You know what I mean? So, he had the pedigrees, but then a lot of people get the pedigree prior to coming to pro wrestling, but a lot of people can't make that transition. You know what I mean? And what he did was, he came in, no attitude, even though he had Olympic caliber credentials, he came in just saying, hey, I don't know anything. You guys teach me what you guys know, and I just want to learn. Even now, he's a champion, but he's still learning, and that's a dangerous thing because you see his potential, and so he just brings that, and he motivates. You see how he brings out the passion in the other wrestlers, in the fans, so that's what he brings to it, like that dedication, and so, and then with Ahuna, man, because we've known each other a long time, so
yeah, we go back to Lars Anderson.
Oh, man.
And we've seen the era, so many promotions, so many so-called stars, and all this kind of stuff. And he's a warrior, man. He perseveres. He survived it all. And there's only a few of us that can say that we survived, and we're still going and we're still thriving. So the guy, whether you like him or not, and he makes no apologies about the way he is behind the scenes. In front of the camera, he is who he is. He's Ahuna, whether you like it or not. And anybody who knows me, if you're being real, then you're all good in my book. As long as you're real, that's all you can ask for. And the people see that. They see that when you come up. They know when you're phony.
So when you're inside the zone, we're not only going to talk about Action Zone Wrestling, we're also going to talk about the numerous leagues that are promotions, I should say, around the entire world. WWE, WCW, ECW, ROH, whatever it may be. So let's get right to it, guys. We already introduced ourselves. So let's bring up the competition of tag team. Tag team wrestling is sort of lost in art in modern day wrestling. So when you think about tag teams past and present, any organization, what kind of tag team really sticks out in your mind for you?
The Legion of Doom.
Oh yes, Hawk and Animal.
Hawk and Animal. I think kind of in a way I try to emulate myself like them. Just get in the ring and beat the crap out of whoever is standing in front of me. That's how they used to come to the ring. They had no shake the hands of the fans when they first started because nobody really knew who they were. Then as people started learning and knowing them, they still had that same demeanor. Hey, screw you, we came here for doing job. We're going to get in that ring, we're going to bust that guy's ass and get the hell out so I can do what I do. I think I kind of try to make myself like that. I mean, yeah, I was a fan, favorite, shake their hands, make friends, you know, be goody-goody in the ring, outside the ring, but no, still deep down in my heart, I'm still that same guy like them. Screw you guys, I can pretty much know that what you guys seen out of me lately is pretty much screw you guys. Because I'm not here for you, I'm not here for the guys in the back, I'm not here for you or these two, and he knows it a lot. I'm here to do my thing, he's giving me a place to do my thing, and as far as the fans go, I'm sorry, but I'm not, you know? But yeah, Legion of Doom. I wish they were young like us. I wish that time didn't, you know, creep up on them and take one away, you know, because they can teach everybody what real tag team wrestling about it in my mind. I mean, that's what sticks out most about tag team wrestling for me.
What about you guys?
Well, I like the Hart Foundation growing up.
Okay.
Me and my neighbor, he looked like Jim the Animal Neidhart.
Okay.
It's kind of
Are
big.
you going to say Matilda?
No, no, and I was a lot smaller like when I was growing up. So, and then I actually had the Bret Hart shades. It wasn't from him, but it was from
The catalog.
You lie, I was from
concession stand.
The WWF magazine.
No, but I used to wear it, and we used to just we used to rock his backyard. But yeah.
Did you rock the pink and black?
I didn't own any pink attire at the time, but I pretended to.
Okay.
Pretended to. Yeah, they're my favorite tag team.
Do they kind of influence you in your in-ring style now?
Well, I haven't had a chance to be in a tag team yet, so not really. But if I do have the opportunity, then definitely.
That's on you, bro.
Yeah, like from that same era, I mean, for me, the first team that just got my attention was the British Bulldogs. I mean, just the look, just the way they impacted everything they did. I mean, like everything had a purpose. There was no like wasted energy, no wasted motion in what Dynamite Kid or Davey Boy Smith did. So like when they first came out, I mean, couldn't do no wrong. I mean, I remember I used to brag, like, because Demolition came out, right? And Demolition was just smashing every tag team. And that's when the WWF actually cared about tag teams, and they had the tag team rosters, you know? And Demolition was going through everybody, and then they fought the British Bulldogs for the first time. And they didn't win, it was a draw. Double count out or something like that, whatever it was. I remember going back and I told everybody, I told you guys, the British Bulldogs, best tag team ever. Demolition couldn't even beat them. But to me, like Demolition, just watching those old matches with the Hart Foundation and the Bulldogs, like, you can watch every match they've ever done and you always find something different, you know what I mean? And that's what's lost, you know, that art, that tag team psychology, you know. There's nothing wrong with tag team wrestling, you know what I mean? I love tag team wrestling. I mean, most of my success came as a tag team wrestler, you know, because I always feel like the best tag teams is where, you know, you help the other. So like whatever your weakness is, your partner can kind of bring the best out of you on that end, and why you can help them out. So you kind of, like Jim Neidhart and Bret Hart is a perfect example, you know. Neidhart, not the most technical wrestler in the world, Bret Hart, technical. But Jim Neidhart, powerhouse, you know, he bring that intensity, you know, and then Bret Hart brought the finesse, brought the style, you know, brought the attitude. So yeah, to me, just that whole era, you know, that whole mid-'80s kind of, like from about 83 to about 88 was just like, sheesh, tag team wrestling was just all over the place. I mean, you know, it was great.
Yeah, back in the day, you would have about 10 or 12 different tag teams in the WWF or WCW, but now you're maybe down to 5 currently in the 21st century. Has the tag team championship kind of lost its luster and lost its glory?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, like when you not in AZW, I don't think so much in the independent promotions, like with Ring of Honor or AZW, IWC. A lot of these independent promotions, a lot of times the tag team title is on par with the heavyweight title, you know, like sometimes the main event with the tag team title, you know. But I think like with WWE, and it's funny because before that was their bread and butter. I mean, they had a stacked tag team division. and even WCW, you know, that, I mean, and early NWA, I mean, that was, I mean, they were known for the tag team, Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, and all these great tag teams. But for some reason, it's something that it's almost like they frown upon it. It's almost like they're embarrassed about it. And you see it like whenever like a team is starting to catch on, and you got a great team in the WWE, they break up, and then you never see them again. And then most of the tag team champions in like the last like 10 years or so have been just two singles guys that they put together for some random. I mean, and to me, it's like, you know, there's more to it than that, you know what I mean? So for me, I think it has.
Now, Ahuna, you were in numerous tag teams throughout the many different organizations here in Hawaii. First of all, who was your favorite tag team that you worked with personally?
Personally?
Yeah.
I would say Night Marchers version 2.
Okay.
Night Marchers had a lot of versions. It's like how DDB said, it was just a bunch of random single guys thrown together. I think that's what they did when we first started. You know, it wasn't supposed to be Lopaka and myself. It was supposed to be Lopaka and somebody else. But that somebody else never took the call, never gave a crap. They called me and I said, hey, cool, let's do that. I mean, Night Marchers, this Hawaiian legacy. That's me, Hawaiian legacy. So, hey, we tried. We're doing, man. We did good. But then there you go again. Random singles guy. Right? So Lopaka went off and did his own. Then they partnered me up with, you know, the pioneer of Hawaiian strong style, as he's like to be known nowadays, Kaniala. And I think we had the best run as a tag team. As a tag team, Kaniala and myself, we owned the tag team scene in Hawaii. And would have been great if everybody could have came as one and just wrestle without no problem. But everybody had their own view on how things are supposed to go. I know the promoters that was up against Darryl had their own views. And I don't know if Darryl had his own views or what, but I think it would have been great if everybody could have just got along and did their thing. I think it would have been more exciting.
How important is it to bond with your tag team partner outside of the ring?
It's very important. I mean, you got to know your partner, because if your chips are down, your partner's got to be the guy to pick you up and carry you, and vice versa. If he can't do it, you got to be able to do it. So I think it's really important that you and your partner, I mean, not 24/7 hang out with each other, but, you know, I think for the better course of your day, you should be knowing each other, know what he does, he should know what you do. You should know when he's going to do it, he should know when you're going to do it, you know. And once you can get that going, I think nobody can stop you.
So Ahuna and the Night Marchers, by the way, New Year's Bash, January 29th, they will take on TKO and the high-flying Chet Akuma. All right, guys. So we talked about the best tag teams. Who were some of the worst tag teams that you just saw on TV and you were just absolutely disgusted?
There's a lot, man. The Bushwhackers.
The Bushwhackers. You didn't like the headlights? You didn't like the headlights?
No, honestly, if I was in the front row and I saw them coming out, I was like, oh shit. Like, I don't want to get licked, man. I don't think they even want a match.
The Nasty Boys.
That really?
I mean, they disgusted me.
How were they as in-ring performers, in your opinion? How were they as
They was
wrestlers?
good. I mean, as an in-ring performer, you got to be able to do your job not only in the ring, but you got to get the reaction out of the crowd. Oh. And they used to get that crappy reaction that they also loved as soon as their music played. And when you can do that, when people know what to do, know how to react to you once your music hits, you're doing a good job in my mind.
Did they sing their own theme song?
Yeah, there was an era where a lot of the wrestlers were singing their own.
I'm not a big fan of wrestlers singing, pulling out albums and dropping them. Who was the worst tag team for you?
I think the one we currently see on TV now, it's Santino and Kozlov. I mean, I've made that known abundantly clear that I think that's pathetic. Like, you know, I mean, Santino has his little niche, you know, and his raw, and the crowd loves him obviously, but when you watch it, it's just sad when you have talented tag teams that if they really build around, you know, with the Usos and the Hart Dynasty, even the Nexus when they were together with Gabriel and Slater, I believe. Yeah, I mean, you had the nucleus to rebuild this division, and for whatever reason they see money in Santino and Kozlov, and it's just joke. It's like, it's almost like, seriously, just get rid of the titles already. You know what I mean? It's like, don't even have a division if that's the case. You know, because it's just pathetic to me. It's like, you know, you got talented wrestlers like floating around with nowhere to wrestle, because they don't, you know, maybe they don't play politics or whatever, and then but you got, you know, Kozlov and Santino walking around the what's supposed to be the premier tag team titles in the world. I mean, that's the one people see on TV, national TV every day and every week. So that, for me, they're horrible, man.
And folks, when you watch tag team wrestling at home, you don't see the bigger pops from the crowds than you used to. I mean, if it's a tag team with special players like main eventers like John Cena or Randy Orton, then maybe you'll get bigger pops. But the tag team wrestling has certainly hurt the perception of pro wrestling in general. And for you guys as athletes, what kind of things in pro wrestling kind of hurt the perception of what people think of the product now as compared to back then?
For me, I still get one problem with the word fake.
Okay.
Like I've always cause
would you prefer scripted?
No, not even that, because I don't write any scripts.
Okay.
I mean, I don't submit scripts. You know what I mean? I mean, I submit lineups.
Okay.
And so for me, it's a term fake in terms of, you know, there is no validity to what we're doing. Like that we're not athletes, that we're not performers. You know what I mean? A lot of us can go out, and I can go out and I can shoot a basketball. I can go swing a baseball bat. I can throw a football. I can box. I can do that. But not every one of those guys can come and do what we do. You know
I
what I
agree.
mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So for me, I mean, you can use sports entertainment, which is another term I hate. I mean, it's a sport. You know what I mean? Like, because we're judged based on our performance. So if we have a good match, you always hear that was a good match. So, and they call figure skating a sport.
Called poker sport.
Poker sport, and they're judged based on performance. So I look at it the same way, where we could be performers, but we're also athletes, and we're doing what we're supposed to do. And like I said, there's not a lot of people that can do what we do, but I can guarantee you we can do a lot of what they do. So for me, that's the perception that kind of always hurts it, and also the perception that WWE is what pro wrestling is. So like when people see that, they think that that's what wrestling is all about, and there's more to wrestling than what they're seeing on Monday nights and Friday nights. You know what I mean? There's more to it in the indie scene. There's, you know, in Japan, you know, in Europe, and all these places that people know that. So to me, those are kind of the two things that kind of are my pet peeves, I guess you could say, when it comes to wrestling.
Jeff?
I would actually, my biggest pet peeve is about the fake thing. I mean, most people see it and they're like, oh yeah, he knows how to fall, or the ring's bouncy, or man, that ring hurts, man. Like, I mean, from getting body slammed, getting thrown down from a 6'4" guy, you know, it doesn't really matter. That thing hurts, you know. You fall wrong way, your ass is hurting for a while. Hit the ropes wrong, you know. You can't fake falling on carpet or concrete underneath carpet, you know, like those kind of things. You can't fake going through a table. You can't fake getting hit with a chair, or you can't. I mean, there's times you get caught with punches, but you can't fake that kind of stuff. And I really hate that.
Describe to everyone what the actual ring is made of.
Was it metal?
It was metal.
You can tell who doesn't set up the ring.
Metal frames. Metal frames, wood, and padding.
Literally, yeah.
That's thick.
It's basically just beams, posts, and wood.
Yeah.
One thing, no springs.
Yeah, there's no springs.
under
That's a, you know, like people. I know people watched that show a long time ago, like the Secrets of Pro Wrestling.
With the big metal spring in the
like a metal spring, and that just somehow made it a trampoline. It's like, no, there's no spring there, and nothing like that. So yeah, I mean, it's tough, and you know, there's give, but it doesn't give much.
Do you get a lot of grief after your matches from family or friends asking you these kind of questions about?
Well, at the last show we had, I was trying to get my aunt to come watch for a while. A lot of my family members aren't living in Hawaii, but when my aunt's here, my cousins come all the time with my nephews and all that. My aunt say, you know, I don't want to come, I don't want to see you get hurt. And I finally got her to come to the show. The first thing she said was, "Don't make me cry." And I was like, I'm sure to come to her. But I mean, I had marks on me and all that, and she looked at it and she was like, come take a picture of me. So, but you know, I do get grief. You know, it's like, hey, are you, like, you know, when I go to work the next morning, I was like, are you okay? Because, you know, I'm kind of limping in to work, and they were like, are you okay? I was like, I'm good. I'm not really good.
But it's funny though, because like when you bring up when people that know you and they know you, like growing up. And people that know wrestling, that's all they would be like, oh man, wrestling is fake. Wrestling is so fake. Wrestling is fake. And then as soon as they find out I'm involved in wrestling, the first question I say, so what, is it fake? come on, you can tell me, is it? Or they'll watch stuff and they'll be like, okay, that was real. Well, no, that was fake, but no, that part was real. And it's like, you know, so, I mean, we put on a show, and that's basically what it is, you know, and and our bodies is our tool. So it's like an artist, you know. But this is our canvas, and then and we put this on the line, to entertain, and we're not complaining about it. So we enjoy it. But just the perception sometimes. So, but I think for our fans, they're a little bit more respectful as far as what we do, because they see we go out there and we lay it on the line, So they get it, What I mean?
Real quick, Ahuna, how about you?
Specify for me, what do you guys think is real? I mean, I'm sitting here in front of the camera talking to you guys. Am I real? He's here. Is he real? The belt is here. Is this real? I mean, how much more real can you get? We're right there, right in front of your faces. We do everything right in front of your faces. I mean, I can see, like, if we miss by a mile, yeah, maybe that was fake. But every match we do, we knock each other upside the head. We kick each other in the face. And every once in a while, you take a shot in your groin. I mean, how much more real can you get? Specify for me what is real, and I'll specify for you what is fake. How's that for an answer? Huh? You think anybody can relate to that? What is fake? You fake. You fake for telling us that this is fake. I punch you in your face. Was that fake? I don't think so. If I punch Jeff in his face, is that fake? If I flip this damn table over, is that fake? No. So your real answer is, what is fake? Is you fake.
You scared the crap out of me. I just want to put that out there.
That wasn't.
I mean,
that's not fake.
That's passion. You know what I mean? I got tired
Right.
for 15 freaking years by all the only thing I ever did. Everybody else fake. I broke my shoulder. I broke my arm. I broke my leg. That's fake to you. What is fake is, you gonna pay my bill for me. That's fake when you tell me, maybe. That's maybe my ass. You ain't paying my bill.
And on that note, that's all the time we have here. Hey, do not forget, make sure you check out the Tiger Muay Thai Gym in Ahuna, January 29th. It is New Year's Bash. All these three guys that you're going to see will be at that event. For all the details and ticket information, log on to ActionZoneWrestling.com. So for DDB and Ahuna and Mr. Athletic Jeff Cobb, Felipe here for Action Zone Wrestling. We'll see you next week, Fridays at 12:30, Inside the Zone.
That was real.
That was real.